Hello, my fellow YouTubers and my TikTokers. This is Roy back again. Exciting little video I'm going to pop out for you guys. I decided to buy myself a little Christmas present. And with that Christmas present, it became this. This is my 3D printer. And just playing around, making some stuff, little boats. Look at the detail on this. Steps, house on it's a lighthouse. This is the start of it. When I first started, I ran out of filament. You can see how it builds it. Everything's in layers. It got me thinking. Big time. Everything's in layers. So here we go. Bam! What do I have here? Well, I made this, so this could be my magnetic bowl for my screws. And what I mean by magnetic is, here's a magnet, neodymium. Ooh, NASCAR, right? And there it is. So a magnetic bowl, part poly. It's 80% poly, 20% powdered iron. So one thing I'm going to bring up on this is that if you look in here, it's little pieces, right? So if you were to take a voltmeter and check for polarity, and here you go. You'll hear that when there's polarity. If you touch the iron in here, it doesn't ring. Only when it's connected. So it got me thinking in layers, right? So there's little domains in here, all through there, but they're not connected. Let's experiment with that. So I said, you know what? I'm going back to my Wilhelm Reich experiments, and he has a 10-layered box that somebody would sit in, and it was called the orgone accumulator, and it was 10 layers of organic, inorganic material. So let's talk real quick about the material here. The poly is organic. It's oil. So it's from Earth, it's organic. And the iron in here, the powdered iron, is inorganic. So the difference between organic and inorganic in this energy, he called it orgone energy. I'm going to say he just named his life energy because he was a psychiatrist, and he dealt with energies in different forms. Some got him in trouble through sex and orgasms, and got his books burnt. First book burning guy in the United States. The others was in energy in itself, and he discovered in his basement through some fluorescence, an accident, whatever he mixed together, and it became layers of materials. So it got me thinking, okay, if you're into the periodic table, you can look at our elements that are not man-made, all right? And then you can look at what is your most electrostatic. Your most electrostatic is polyethylene. So I have some polyethylene here, and I'm melting polyethylene, which is highly, highly electrostatic. But it only is electrostatic when you melt it, and then you electrostatically put pressure on it as it dries. And what it does, it aligns the molecules in there, the domains. And then this block now that I could take, if it was electrostatic right now, I should be able to put this down, right? And it would stick, right? Nothing's sticking. See that? Nothing. There's nothing sticking. So we'll do an experiment where that stuff is going to jump up and move around 2 feet away from this material. So the way you process this is when it cools down, you put a high pressure electrostatic. I'm going to talk about that real quick. We're going to do it this way. I built this plate, which is highly, it's magnetic in 20% form. You see, Shazam, and it's not conductive. So the way Wilhelm Reich ran this is the inorganic material had 2 attributes about it, and the organic material, the poly, would have 1 attribute about it. But this one's mixed up with different domains of iron, so it becomes a slash metallic slash organic material. Hear me out. I'm going to go ahead and melt the polyethylene to be the electrostatic sit in this, and I brought it up to a certain level. You can see I can bring it up to different levels, you know what I mean? So this is my bowl. I don't want it that thick. I want it to be only about maybe 16th, and that's. But then I put grooves in it, so the energy in here from the outside, which will be this plate here. The inside will be the polyethylene, which will be just coming up to the layer of below the wall level there. Just I'm going to bring the polyethylene just to where the ribs are, about that level. Okay, so you can see there's more space. Then I'm going to put my conductive plate. My conductive plate will sit on top of that. So the outside realm here, this is a mirror image of what we're building layer by layer. And what we're going to do is 10 layers. And each layer will be this material for the outside is a blend. This material to go ahead and, I didn't talk about the difference between the organic and inorganic. So the organic material, it absorbs only. It has 1 attribute. It absorbs. Organic absorbs energy. It absorbs. That's nature. It absorbs. Inorganic material has 2 attributes. It absorbs and it repels. So if you had an absorption in front of this, such as a plate like this, what's going to happen is the energy is going to be pulled in from the absorption of 80% of organic into the metal. And we know from the from MIT video that dissecting a capacitor, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's beautiful information from MIT, trustworthy college there, I would say. And they show you where the energy sits in dissecting a capacitor and where the energy moves. And it's the metallic that moves the energy, and it's the inorganic, should I say, the dielectric, inorganic, is where the energy is stored. So you're going to, on the outside plate, you're absorbing, and then the inside plate, you're going to absorb, and then you're going to repel. When it repels back in. So it don't repel outwardly, it brings the energy inward where my finger is right here, and then it gets trapped here. So the next layer will be a straight poly. Now I have some different materials here. I have copper, I have brass. They're powdered form mixed in. So we know the domains on that material is segregated. It's not combined like a whole piece of iron, like something like Mr. Edley Scallon. It's broken down, which is really good, I think, in a sense, because the goal, the end game here would be to absorb on the outside, bring it to the center, layer after layer after layer after layer after layer after layer, till you get to the center where the energy is so compressed and it can't come out. It builds a pressure. So it constantly has a pressure. So what I want to build, this will be the first version. I'm going to call it an orb. even though it's going to be flat plates, a mirror image. So you'll have this and this, and then you'll have actually 4 sides of that. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'll do those in square. But right now I'm going to start the experiment with just a flat disc. I'm going to compress it like a pancake coil. Mr. Tesla, Mr. Nikola Tesla. So for right now, this will be mirror imaged backwards, okay? So the energy is being pulled in from both sides, compressed to the center. And from readings from Mr. Wilhelm Reich, most of his books were burned, but not all. There's a big following. It goes on to cloud busting and all other ways with nature and energy. But it's just more of a different understanding of the energy, and he can name it whatever he wants. He had the right to. He was experimenting with it. But it really comes down to our natural energy. It's the electrons, or you want to call them positive, or really it's negative energy coming out forward, chasing the negative. It's a positive chasing a negative, but it comes out of the negative to chase. It's a dielectric. It's basically the energy that's inside the cell itself on the outer layer. We call it electron. You can call it whatever you want. Electron works for me because it's everywhere. It's the electrostatic. It's the electrite. The electrit is what I'm building here, which is taking polyethylene, which is super high electrostatic. So that will be in the layers in between each one of these metal plates. And in it itself is highly electrostatic, which in 3 feet will make that all that stuff move in there like a magnet. So this should be a self-generating orb. That's it right there. It's going to be 10 layers. You got your outside. You're going to have layer after polyethylene, then you're going to have your metals. We'll put different metals in there, and we'll try it with the same metals and try it with different metals and see what we get out of it. I'm not looking for anything other than some millivolts to be self-generated all the time by it just being put together the way it does. So guys, man-made this guy right here. This is Roy's man-made / I gotta say, at least Gallon / Nikola Tesla. You want to get the wheel turning, guys? Come on, let's play for a second. I love turning my wheel. So this is power coming out. Let's make something burn here. So that's negative. Shazam. And we're gonna have this is what, a positive. Man, this thing, I got a feeling this thing is gonna spin quick. Let's come over here with let's go here with a positive. And then this is a blue. What are we gonna do with this blue? We're gonna take this blue and go to the positive over here. How I know all this, guys? I don't know. Some little birdie taught me here. I'm gonna take that, which is what? What we got going? I ain't doing nothing there. We're just gonna take this black one, which is the negative, to the 2N3055, which is going to this bifilar, which has 43 ohms on the skinny wire, the back feed wire, and it has, I think, 8 ohms on the drive wire, which is the thicker wire. We'll go to the negative here. We're going to drive that all the way over there. Then all I got to do is find some more wire. Oh, you guys are going to like this. I just love playing. Since I had my eye operation, I had a detached retina in my eye, and I couldn't play with my Tesla stuff because of light and it's been 3 months now. So I'm jonesing. I am jonesing. Let me see. This plus here should go to the negative here. And then we're going to take this wire and go from the negative here and go to the plus here. So we got 3 batteries, 36 volts I'm going to throw in this. Why? Because I can. And watch what happens when I touch this wire. Let's watch the wheel. Oh, baby, you hear that humming too? All right, so let's talk about this real quick. On the back side of this, I have a magnet underneath this. This is a point set from a Model T Ford, like 1917, 1914, the Buzz Box. So I got that set up so I can make a contact here, a make and break, and run something else, okay? It's there. This is the bifilar coil. It's air core. There's no core in there. And these are 1-inch square neodymium magnets, north facing out. I designed this coil so when I put a positive into the start wire, it puts a north out here. So it's going to want to push. So watch it push. It'll push that magnet away. So watch. There you go. So right now I'm going to connect the wire. And we're going to go ahead and just take the wheel. It's going to turn that way by itself, I guess. I'm going to turn it. All right. Really quiet now. I took all the resistance off it. I took the wheel off to the side. I took the rubber band off. I took the contact over here off. I just wanted to let it roll on its own. The funny thing is, I got these 2 pickup coils here. They're connected to nothing, all by themselves. One's running that light, one's running this light. The minute I put like a motor on them, the wheel slows down, but it runs the motor. So right now, it is wide open. And watch this, when I adjust this nut, you're going to start to hear. Let me adjust this. Get this all set. It's too noisy. But here, now I got the buzzing. Which is the points up and down to make and break contact. Or I can tighten it up, get rid of that. That sound you heard was just, I don't have this hooked up. This is just sitting here and I can probably push this in a little bit. I don't know why it's not a little bit. There's a humming, right? So you can see I like to build. It's one of my fortes. And one thing I do like about the wheel that I took off, this thing is heavy. Yeah, that's aluminum wheel. This is all steel heavy. So I might do some experiments with that off and then with it on. And I'll run the motor. I got these kick-ass got these kick-ass where'd it go? Well, they're right here. These are meters and they're pretty damn cool. They'll be able to tell us the power in, DC power in, DC power out. I don't want to open that right now. I have one open. But anyway, it'll show us wattage, volts, and amperage. So we'll be able to decipher this in all different sections. I want to do some experiments with you, do some lives, and get people to call in. So if you want to call in, leave your emails now. I'll start a little book to get all you guys. I'll contact you. We'll do some live stream calls together. Thank you. Happy holidays. Crazy. Bam. Gone. Remember this. This is going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. Peace out, my brothers. Leave your comments.